One of my very favorite trainings that my husband Mark and I do together is the liberation training. It is so exciting because we always do this training in thermal hot springs, which means we're doing wet rebirthing. We breathe with snorkels and nose plugs right in the thermal water. There's nothing more powerful than that. And in fact, the Divine Mother has given me a special technique to teach students in this training. And this technique is not done anywhere else in the world. Nobody else is doing this. And I'm very honored to introduce people to it. Because what happens is Mark and I design certain prayers for each student based on their problems. And then when we go down in the water, we breathe on affirmations that we give the people to handle these problems. And I've never seen any training like this anywhere in the world. In fact, I'm sure there isn't one. I've never heard of one. So Mark always tells me it's his favorite training. And there's something about being in the thermal waters. I mean, you can do wet rebirthing in hot tubs, jacuzzis, or bathtubs, which is also wonderful. But to do this breathing in the thermal waters is more powerful because you're immersed right into the Divine Mother. And the whole training is based on surrender to the Divine Mother. And people have amazing results because this training goes on for 5 or 6 days. And it takes 5 or 6 days to learn the technique that the Divine Mother taught me. People change so fast, and I've never heard anybody that didn't just love it. So I really hope that you come with us to Thermal Hot Springs and give yourself this gift of being in the waters of the Divine Mother and learning the breathing process that we teach. And you can change completely.
Can you tell us how you received the knowledge of this training and where you did the first training?
Oh yes, it's very interesting. I was leaving India and my Guru Shastriji handed me a paper, and what it was a list of the 108 names of the Divine Mother. I had no idea what this meant or what to do with this. So I got on the plane, and at that particular time I landed in Stockholm, Sweden after India. And I went to my hotel room and I thought, well, maybe I should start reading these prayers before my altar and see what happens. So I made an altar and I sat down and I read these prayers. There's 108 names of the Divine Mother. And when I finished, I sat very still in kind of a meditation, and I received the most incredible knowledge. And the knowledge was how to do this training called the liberation training and how to do the liberation technique. I was so excited, I grabbed my snorkel and my nose plug and I jumped in my bathtub and I tried to do it, and it was really hard. It actually took me several days to learn it because it's not something you can just learn instantly. So I was so excited that I decided to try this on another healer, another teacher who's a healer teacher. And I put him in the bathtub because that's what we had available. And he came flying out of the water and he said, "This is a stroke of genius." And I said, "Oh, it's not from me, it's directly from the Divine Mother." Well, then we got the idea together to go to Iceland. And we chose Iceland because they have so many natural thermal springs. And so we went to Iceland, and they actually have a lake that's completely thermal. And in fact, if you swim out to the center of the lake, the water gets hotter and hotter. And the bottom of this lake is white mud. And it was so incredible. We packed ourselves with white mud all over, and then we drive in the sun, then we go back in the lake. And then we do this liberation technique. And the tourists who were there got so jealous, they all wanted to join our group. And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to be responsible for these people." But, you know, it just showed me how much interest there was in this technique. So we do this also in Spain, in Colorado, and other places where there are nice thermal springs. And so I want to invite you to come because it's one of the most exciting trainings that we do. Thank you.